Okay, so I think there's something very important going on with the S&P 500, and it's nothing different than I've talked about previously on this channel very briefly. I've never dedicated a whole video just to the S&P 500, so I will do that today because we got a decent shorting opportunity coming up soon, I believe. We're gonna break it down a little bit. It's a little bit unclear, but do remember, please, everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion. Please do your own research and due diligence because every trading decision you make is your own. I just like to share with you guys what I'm doing. I try to keep the S&P 500 chart very clean, but I'm gonna start filling it up with notes going forward because it's created a lot of really good buying opportunities as we, especially if we flirt or cross the 120 moving average on the daily charts. But you guys know I like my 1 hour charts for the most part, and it's very similar, very similar to this. And then also there's like this debate. It's like, okay, well, patterns don't have to always repeat, which is true, and that can create a lot of risk on the upside because we can just have a continuation of a break higher. I'm gonna get into that in a moment, but really the overall view is for us to have another corrective move. Now, the S&P has just been tearing it. Technically, on much larger time frame, we are at an uptrending resistance, right? So on top of that, a proper correction may be due, and it can be due to macroeconomic headlines. It can be due to just the trading structures themselves. So with that being said, we're not going to go too far back. I mean, I really can't, but let's keep it a little bit more somewhat recent. So late 2023 low, overall low. Uh, this is the April 2025 low. So I'll go ahead and finish it off of that right there. So this is our uptrending support, right? So we're going to go ahead and draw this out. A little bit of support for a potential larger correction for the S&P. I'll move that later on, but you guys get the idea. It's going to be deep value. I'm going to go ahead and make it purple as well. So this is deep value, larger picture correction. Nothing terrible, just the chart correcting itself on the larger picture, which when you get very tied up in the short term, at least I've experienced that, you get tied up in the short term, you forget the big picture. Next thing you know, what is actually a small and somewhat expected correction ends up being something that looks crazy large, and that you just you think there's a crash going on, but really it's just the bigger picture correcting. So if we're looking at potential correction down here, I'm not saying it has to happen, but if it does down here, based on this move, then okay, so that's the bigger picture. And even if it dips below it, we still have the support indicating that we can see some movement around that 5500 area. So then right now, at least in the short term, right, we know that okay, there is somewhat of a resistance forming right here. This isn't very strong of a trend line, but it's just there to show us where at least the majority of these the average top would be. Okay, so we're above the 120 moving average. We have some bullish momentum forming. We haven't actually we're not really holding too much above the previous swing high, and then this will be all-time high as well right here. So 69 or $6,946 basically, 6,945. So what I'm looking for, and it is topped out on the short term on the R side, just on the 1 hour. What does that look like on the 1 day? Kind of curious. So I mean, last time I even mentioned the S&P 500 on the yeah, it's looking like it wants to correct as well. It seems to be kind of averaging in this zone, not a whole lot of volume pushing it to either side. But last time I talked about so there is a little bit of bullish momentum still there, at least on the 1 day candles. Last time we talked about it, I kept saying like every dip underneath this 120 moving average is just a decent opportunity to start buying, at least in my opinion, because well, if we're uptrending and this uptrend hasn't been broken yet, and when it tried to break it like right here, with this one being this overall low being much lower than this, we just held very strong, and we even held some short term like there is definitely bullish momentum here because even if you use a retracement, it came into it and jumped off of that point 0.5 almost perfectly. So to extend this higher will be fine. Like if you guys like Elliott waves, very strong first, I would say. Proper second correction due to at least just that retracement I showed you. So just based on that alone, this third wave can extend higher. Usually we know third wave is a little bit more extreme, or tend to be. But there is some more room for this to go up. And then look at that. Coincidentally, it also overlaps very nicely with the uptrend, up uptrending resistance or whatever. So yeah, it overlaps very nicely with that. We could see a continuation of a movement higher. With that being said, I'm looking to short this soon. Uh, Not just yet. I talked about it on the Discord a little bit earlier today. I was like, I'm looking to short the overall market, and I'm also looking to short Mara. But Mara, I mean, we'll talk about that soon. But Mara, man, if we go up into this retracement area, oof, I'm gonna be looking at a, like really getting some short exposure with some puts to expire later towards like the end of winter or spring or something, just to really let it consolidate. Because I do believe later in 2026, if the bear market in Bitcoin really does, really does rise, and by that rise I mean drop or whatever, but you know what I mean. Then I wouldn't be surprised if Mara dips below $5 as well. So I really want to capture a lot of shorts, but not just yet. And then same thing with S&P. It's like not just yet. We can definitely trend higher, so that's why I didn't buy any shorts to like expire like in a few weeks or even like a month or two. I didn't buy any shorts or puts whatsoever. I want to see if this can try to go up a bit higher. Besides that, short term though, real quick, like short term, this is a nice move, but as we can see it go higher, it's quite simple. Just like every move usually has its little corrections, and you can't really tell too much right now, but this one corrected very nicely. And then after that, the next one higher, so that's the bottom right there. The next one, boom, corrected very nicely. So if that continues to at least, you know, occur, uh, I mean, I would just take it as a decent, at least just to me, my own opinion. I mean, SLs can be like down here, they can be right here. SLs can be wherever, so you don't have to like completely dedicate. But if we are uptrending, just simple retracements, decent buying opportunity to accumulate, get a little bit of exposure, and then you can just sell your SLs. And then if it continues higher, and if it comes down, get some exposure, we break up higher, break over the swing high, right here, then boom, like more exposure, and then you're adding to a winning trade, and then you have like a take profit plan, right? So like, see that's the thing, that's how it goes. So if we're still uptrending, we want to see if we can hit the top of this resistance. Regardless, on the bigger picture, we just have a lot of healthy corrections, like each one. And if you guys, I mean, I can actually show it right here real quick. Each one has been very healthy, holding within simple retracement fibs. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for right now, right? So if I want to get in, get some exposure, maybe even with some like a few weeks out, like calls, may be fine as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about it as right now. We still have the weekend to think about this. But yeah, I mean, as simple as that. Looking for some long, just a little bit of long exposure. If we get bullish confirmation, bringing over the swing high, adding more. We have this take profit area. From there, then I'm looking at, shorts, just some, conservative shorts, just to capture, correct, these corrective moves. So as of right now, the majority of the short term, at least, we can say it's something like that, right? It's like the average, the trend line average will be something like that for the short term. And then again, we have that bigger support down here, which will be ideal. If the sooner we can just have a bigger correction on the S&P, the way more attractive it will be to like want to get some more aggressive longs. So then break over 7,000. If we do come down to like roughly 6,000, that'll be awesome. Or even low 600, and then boom, targeting over 7,000 on the S&P. But yeah, it's as simple as that. Just to keep the chart simple again. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really looking into anything right now. If we come down here, some long exposure, bullish confirmation over the swing high, add more. The TP will be I don't know, for somewhere around 7,200, but we'll see as you know, we don't have to plan. I mean, 7,200 roughly, but then we don't have to worry about that too much because we're not even on the way there really just yet. If it goes there and it doesn't, we don't get that opportunity, or at least I don't get the opportunity to accumulate here. That's cool. I'll let it run, and then I'll be looking at shorts up here. So that's the plan. Let's see if that happens sometime next week. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. Short term, it also crosses the 120 moving average on these 1 hour candles. From there, that's my plan. I would like to see it come down here sooner rather than later, but as of right now, the uptrend is still alive. So I'm looking for these micro supports, basically short-term supports with some short-term price target. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.